They are going postmodern on us, renaming inflation temporary price movements, higher prices but not inflation, adjustments to the market. We are now going to see those who attack the left's postmodernism, where everything can be called whatever you want to call it and nothing has any fixed meaning. They are now going to participate in the very postmodernism that they claim to attack. I'll give you the first example. We're going to have some others later. Howard Lutnick went on Fox News yesterday and said, no, 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 we aren't starting to see inflation. We will see a period of higher prices, which you and I understand is inflation. Take a listen to this, and there's a lot to discuss here.
Well, as the president said last night, there's going to be a short period of time where there'll be some higher prices on certain products. It's not inflation. That's nonsense. It's certain products for a short period of time.
Products, some of them, will cost more for a period of time. Well, that's what we call inflation. Now, let me add an additional wrinkle to this. During the end of the Trump presidency, early in the Biden era, as inflation started coming down, still positive, right? Positive inflation, but lower rate. The MAGA people said, we will never consider this issue dealt with until the raw and absolute price level goes back down. And as I've explained to you, that very rarely happens in growing Western liberal democratic economies. In order to see true price reduction, we are talking about deflation. And deflation is relatively rare when the economy is humming along. You tend to see price deflation if and only if the economy is in a decline, in a recession, in a depression. And their standard was that until you see absolute prices go back down below, for a while it was pre-COVID level pricing, which we're not going to see in this country unless we have a recession, the likes of which, I mean, it would have to be worse than 2008 for sure. But now all of a sudden, Howard is saying, well, prices will go up on some stuff for a while, but that's certainly not inflation. I assure you, unless these people set off a recession or depression, the likes of which we've not seen in decades, we are not going to see absolute price levels go down. But now they have a new definition. It's no longer called inflation. Now, I want to tell you one other way in which they are sort of dancing around the fact that the price level is starting to go up. We're starting to prepare potentially tomorrow for a negative jobs report. I'll talk about that later. The other thing they've come up with is inflation is when prices go up due to the value of money itself. And just because eggs are expensive, that doesn't mean it's inflation. Now, your head might be spinning right now and you're saying, David, what the hell are you talking about? Let me explain it in a different way. Some of these people, in order to claim we are not about to see inflation go up, they are saying if the actual price of stuff goes up because of, for example, the cost of inputs, right? If eggs go up in price because chickens are dying because of bird flu, that's not inflation, that's a price change. Inflation would be if things go up in price because of the devalued dollar from printing money or what, and we're not doing that. As you, of course, understand, that's ridiculous and laughable. Inflation is inflation. When you look at the consumer price index, there are any number of reasons that the consumer price index might go up. It doesn't distinguish between, the cost of inputs, what got more expensive, versus the change in the value of the dollar. That's completely new. And so I want you to think back to when these people spent years telling us, guys, you can't redefine whatever you want. You can't redefine woman. You can't redefine inflation. You can't redefine peace. You postmodern people that say anything can have any definition, you're wrong about that. And now all of a sudden, the very same people are coming in and they're going, no, 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 no. When stuff gets more expensive, it's not inflation. It's only inflation when it's based on currency devaluation. No, 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 no. We call these price movements. No, this has nothing to, these aren't job losses. These are strategic realignments thanks to Doge. We are going to see The anti-postmodernists who say everything has a fixed and unchanging singular definition come in and say everything has a new meaning at this point in time. We can't let them do it. We have to be prepared and understand that this is what they plan to do. Remember that you can get signed copies of my first and for now only nonfiction book, The Echo Machine. Signed copies available exclusively from Brookline Booksmith at davidpakman.com/booksmith. Quick break, back after this.